Hi, happy Saturday, lady.
Hello, how are you?
Good. So I didn't get any frantic calls from you that you broke a wrist or anything this week. So I'm so glad you're here.
Me too. I'm feeling better than I was this time last week, that's for sure.
Ugh, I can't even imagine. The pain must have been excruciating. But
Well, I feel like I'm whining though because I'm like, it's a broken wrist, and it was a clean break. Well, I mean, once they said it, it could have been so much worse. And it's, luckily it's my left, wrist, not my right. So there's so many good things, but it hurts, especially at night when like it's the worst at night. Because you have to keep it elevated, and so you end up like your shoulder gets out of whack, and then you wake up and your neck is out because you're not. You can only sleep in one position, and so I'm cranky in the mornings. The bottom line,
just I mean, but we take everything for granted. Anything that gets out of sorts or painful or something, you forget, and it's hard to mentally. That's we had a long talk on the View of Truth about mental, how important it is to be focused, mentally.
Yeah, and I heard that. I was a little kind of cranky when I was listening to that, and I was like, oh, and I was like, okay, power of the mind.
Yeah,
thank you. It was so timely. But
when we really were going to dive into the psychological operation that we have been bombarded with our whole lives, obviously that is, our minds are so powerful, way more powerful even than we even realize. So that's why they had to keep us scared and sick and all that kind of, but we survived, and we're going to come out of this incredibly. Yes, you will survive your wrist too.
I'm over here on the ice.
Yes, exactly. I'm excited about tonight because, not only because these two ladies are just, they mean so much to this community, and that's what makes it so special. And, not only to the family that is here in the chat, but also the fellas and ladies, BB, who are podcasters. They mean so much to them as well. And, and just in meeting in person, and anyway, they're just really special, and I'm super excited. So I want to bring them on to start the party. First, we have MagaDi. Woo! Yay, you're here. Thank you for being here. And then on the road is Sandi.
Yay!
It's so good to see you both. You're traveling. Sandi, first how are you? How's traveling with Microtoolmaker?
Oh, it's going good. We had a lot of fun today.
Good. It looks kind of like blue skies out there. It looks nice wherever you are.
Yeah, we're almost to Cheyenne, Wyoming right now. And it's very beautiful skies.
What's the temperature?
Excellent.
What's the temperature?
24 right now.
Oh,
so it's cold.
No way.
It's very cold.
Wow.
It was 37 earlier when I had good bars.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it's Wyoming, right? So I guess that makes sense.
I mean, so cool. There's just so many cool things just in our country to travel around and see. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, and MagaDi, this is just this is such a pleasure to have you. The fellas that you're. What?
Sorry, I was going to say on this side of the podcast, not behind the scenes. So we kind of slap her hand as she starts trying to mod.
Yeah,
I'm watching it, but I'm not going to interfere.
You don't have to do any trolls, smashing. We got you.
We've got
the fabulous Med Exam over there. She's going to smash the trolls for us.
Thank you, Med Exam.
Yeah, exactly. But first, MagaDi, I'm just fascinated. Tell us first about.
I'm looking at it here, so.
You, and tell Microtoolmaker to watch the road.
I'm watching the road and the podcast.
Okay, just be careful. My
He's got
God.
2 eyes, right?
My
You just
God.
got that shoulder fixed, so.
I can't control
Oh,
him. I'm sorry.
I know you can't. Well, so MagaDi, tell us just briefly where are you from? What neck of the woods are you from growing up?
I am from Eastern North Carolina farming country. So,
Oh.
yeah, I grew up in Eastern North Carolina. Been a Carolina girl my whole life until I decided that it was time to run away, and I ran to the beach. So I'm in the North Myrtle Beach area in South Carolina now, and so I'm only a couple hours away from my mom, who is 84, and my daughter and her family are in the Charlotte area. So I'm a little ways from them, but I'm close enough. So
Mhm.
I'm a Carolina girl.
Yeah. It's so interesting. I kind of knew that, but I forgot that, because I went to high school and college in North Carolina, in Charlotte, and then in Chapel Hill, and so I was definitely a Carolina girl for years. I remember coming from the North and coming to North Carolina, and they were all talking about beach music, and I was like, "What's beach music?" And then we went to a restaurant, and I'd order my food, and they'd say, "Sweet or unsweet?" I was like, "What, sweet or unsweet?" They were like, "The tea,
Tea, of
the tea."
course, tea. Sweet, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. So how was life for you growing up? And were you the rebellious kid? Were you the kid that asks a lot of questions? I mean, what or you follow the rules?
I was a quiet kid. I have a younger brother. And so I was the quiet one. I read a lot. I loved Agatha Christie. So I always had my nose in a book. And
Mhm.
I was a pretty good kid. Didn't get into trouble. Didn't get in drinking or drugs or anything like that. But I was where I was. That wasn't really a big temptation anyway. So I was pretty standard, just um, middle income family. My parents were self-employed, so I ended up working a lot for my dad, who thought
Mm.
that that was appropriate with no pay. So I had a
Yeah.
few years of slavery there.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot of lessons that I should be more thankful for, probably. But yeah, just kind of a normal growing up. Um,
Mhm.
and
You know,
mhm,
when you're in a family of a family that has their own business, it's a whole different world. You really
it
have
is.
to dive in there as part of the family and make it happen. Um, and and so in your teenage years, was it the same? Were you a pretty good teenager, or did you go through that
Yeah.
rebellious stage?
I My rebellious stage didn't start till I was probably 30. So, and then I was rebelling against myself. But no, I mean, my parents were very, you know, I'm going to say strict. Um, I didn't date when I was in high school. I didn't date until basically I was in college. So it's limited opportunities to get into trouble, which
Mhm.
probably was a good thing, but I did not appreciate it at the time. But just no, yeah, no. I mean, I was a rule follower. I like to understand the rules. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm not really a troublemaker. I ask lots of questions, have lots of curiosity, but there are things that I like that like my first car, kind of started something with me. My first car in high school, my dad had an auto shop, and he had found a '69 Camaro, and he
Mm,
had gone through and rebuilt that sucker, and that was my first car. It's probably not a good
nice.
choice for a 16-year-old, but
Yeah.
it was fabulous. And so I have a lifelong love of Mustangs, not Camaros, but Mustangs. And I am on my fifth Mustang now, and
What?
I've got lust in my heart for number six, so I
Really?
can have five and six in the garage. But yeah, so I love my Mustangs though, and and I love reading. I love crime novels, and not really into romance that much because usually I don't really need to know that about them, TMI stuff. but I like puzzles. So I like, things like
Mhm.
Agatha Christie, things, I read a lot of, whenever I have leisure, I'm reading detective novels. And usually they're set in some other part of the world, usually maybe a different time period. I've been reading a series based in 1930s Singapore, which has been fun because you learn more about some of the culture stuff and the time periods, and I just find that fun.
Yeah, and so because you like that, do you think that was part of your because you enjoyed puzzles and enjoyed those mysteries and things, do you think that that allowed you to be open to other ideas in the world in our world that
Mhm.
of things?
Yes, there's always things that never really made sense to me, and one of the rabbit holes I've fallen down more recently in the last couple years or so is the old world stuff. It never made sense to me. I'm looking at this beautiful building. Why don't we do this now? Because we should. There's so many things that never really made sense, but I'm going to say I've been awake for a long time, even growing up, because I realized even in hearing my parents talk, they were very into Reagan. My dad had a jar of jelly beans on his desk, Reagan jelly beans. And growing up, even in my teenage years, I remember looking at Washington, and I kept hearing excuses of, well, it's so difficult. We're going to have to, these negotiations are so hard. And after a while, I started realizing that it was all excuses. They weren't actually doing anything because it was just so
Mhm.
hard. And so, that kind of, I knew that the politicians were not good.
Keep moving the
But
center.
Right.
the thing about especially since COVID, since Q operations started, and then COVID and WikiLeaks, we've had information we didn't have before. So I knew
Right.
Hillary was bad. I knew the reasons I thought she was bad. But until I got into the WikiLeaks Podesta emails, I didn't realize how bad that woman really was. And
Yes.
so, understanding deeper levels of your spidey senses are tingling, telling you, yeah, that's not a good person. There's something wrong there, but you don't know, you don't have enough information.
Right.
That's a godsend for this movement because I think that's what makes it so much better for the community because now we have, even if we know that a lot of the data we get is not right, it's still data points, right? Because like whenever
Mhm.
Stormy and those guys talk about, deltas and Q proofs and stuff, they're looking for correlating points of data. And
Right.
so you can get your points of data and figure out which to throw out and which to keep. And that's
Yeah.
really been very helpful in me trying to figure out what I think is real, what I care about being real, and what I don't. I just know it's wrong. I don't know what the truth is, but whatever it is, it's not what I'm told. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's really helped a lot. And I don't feel like I always have to know the answer. I just have to realize that whatever I'm being presented is not necessarily correct. So I just try to keep an open mind about everything.
Yeah. Perfect. Me too. I feel exactly the same way as you do. And, Sandy, so tell us about you're so cute. Tell us about you and where you grew up and kinda your as a kid growing up, what that was like for you.
I grew up in Wisconsin. I have five
Wisconsin?
siblings, and yep,
Okay.
the lower part of Wisconsin. So near Janesville, near the border of Illinois. And I have five siblings. My sister is my best friend, and
Oh.
she actually moved to Florida so we could all, me and her could be together. And yeah, it was a boring childhood. My mom was single, so she raised all five of us by herself. And
What?
yep, my sister ended up quitting school so she could help raise the younger ones. And yes, so normal childhood.
Baby, I got it.
And then um, I don't know, went to high school. My mom met a gentleman that helped us out, and went to high school in Delavan and ended up having 2 kids. Boring life.
Well,
I have a
all I can say, I want to go back and your volume is just a little low, so just speak out as much as you can.
okay.
And so your mom was a single mom and raising 5 kids, if I heard that correctly, and your sister quit school to help raise the younger ones. Is that what you said?
Yep. Yep. My sister's the oldest, and she quit school so my mom could work 2 jobs, and she helped raise us little ones. So
Wow. I mean, that's pretty heroic there to
Mhm.
do that. I mean, that's amazing, actually.
yep,
So
yep, she
five
is. She is a very amazing woman.
five sisters. That's
I have
and
I
you
have
all
one
get
sister and
along
3
great.
brothers.
Oh wow,
Wow.
And I
that's a
know
big.
you guys probably heard of my brother because Scott tried to help my brother. My brother got hurt in Afghanistan.
Oh, wow.
He was having some issues, and Dave and Scott tried to help him out of it. But
Oh, that's
yeah,
so fantastic.
he lost
Wow.
his leg, and yeah, he was in pretty bad shape.
He was one of the first.
Yeah, he's one of the first ones in the Wisconsin area that I know of that got a dog, a service dog, from when
Mm-hmm.
he got hurt because he lost his leg. Um, he died 4 times
Wow.
from when he went to Germany, and then he went to Walter Reed Hospital, and that was the first time I actually got to fly. Actually, it's because I went to Walter Reed Hospital to see him. He was 27 when that happened.
Wow. Where is he
So
now, Sandy? Where is he now?
he lives in New Hampshire. He's out there helping the homeless veterans. So
Oh,
that's what he found out was his purpose, was to go out there and help the homeless veterans.
Oh
So
wow.
that's what
wow.
he's doing. Yep.
I mean, that's
So,
that is wonderful. So so Sandy, so you met Microtoolmaker there next to you.
yep.
Yay! There he is. And so, he have you when he questioned things happening in our world and things, did you wonder what he was questioning, or did you just kind of stay out of it, or what was that like?
No, he comes and tells me about it, and I listen, and then you know he explains stuff to me because like I don't listen to it as much as he does. So
Hmm.
he's my informant. He tells me what's going on and what's happening, so then I know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's my job.
That's why he's doing
Oh,
that. I'm raising 2 grandkids. So
yeah, which is important. And so you're open-minded to the things that he says to you?
oh yes, very much.
Man, that's huge.
Yeah.
You're very lucky,
Everything
Dave.
he tells me, I know, because he listens to it, so I know I don't have to because he'll tell me what's going on.
Yeah, but the fact that, that you can hear him and really take it in and be open-minded with it, I think, a lot of spouses aren't. And so that's not it's really lovely that
That's
that you
huge.
are.
Yeah, it
Yes,
is.
it is
Yeah,
huge.
That is huge.
I'm just more
Great.
shy. I like to be in the background.
Well,
Well,
Sandy, he did get you to go down to Florida to meet these people behind, that you see on screen that he's been watching. How was that for you?
I was very nervous until my aunt showed up, and then I kind of relaxed because She was the one that helped me. She made me feel relaxed. But it was great meeting all those people. It really was. It put a lot in perspective when you talk to me. So I know who he's talking about now, and I know what they're talking about. So it's a lot easier to understand it. From he'll come and tell me, oh, this person said this. I'm like, oh, okay. So
Yeah.
Face
super
with a
sweet
name.
people. I loved everyone.
Yeah.
Now, is that the first time you met Diane? Is that how you met Diane?
Mm-mm.
No?
No, Diane actually stayed at our house for a couple days.
For Gart.
For Garth.
Gart, yeah.
Yeah.
So the first time I met her,
Am I good over there, babe?
yes, you are. First time I met her, she slept in our spare bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
With all the animals.
Yeah, tell us about that.
yeah, I mean, I'd become friends with Dave, and I was going down to Cocoa Beach, which is where they live, and there's a lot to that trip, but I was like, you have a couch available? So I'm like, I'm not really sure about how welcome I'm going to be, and I met Sandy and just fell in love with her, and I'm like, you sure you're okay? And she's like, yeah, Dave told me you were okay, so it's all right. So, and he had not met me in person either. But I just, you know what? It's one of those God things that I was in somebody's home that I'd never met before, and it felt like home. All the animals and the family. It's just such a wonderful, warm place to be, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time. Sandy and I've been talking about maybe I'm coming back in April, I think. So I really enjoyed spending time with them.
The only thing I had to do is I had to check her purse before she left that she didn't steal a dog.
Yes, I'm going to have to work on that a little bit better. The dogs and the cats and maybe the baby goat. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about that one.
Yeah. Might get to that. We understand there was some attempted goat napping.
That would be Barb.
Yep.
She didn't have an accomplice?
Not a willing accomplice.
Yeah, right, exactly. Not willing.
Not a willing accomplice. Yeah.
Barb, if you're listening, your ears must be burning.
So while we're talking about goats, tell us about this particular goat. Can you see this one has a little hat on him?
Yep. That's Shadow. His name is Shadow Yellish from the Brewers. And he's the one that Barb tried to steal. He's our little boy. He's not even a year old yet. But yeah, she tried to put him in her coat, and Babs said, "No, you're not taking the goat." So
he's very cute. He's very, very cute.
And then that's Ember, and that's our new baby goat. She's not even 2 weeks old yet.
Oh
my!
She was born the day before we left, and she is just a little sweetheart. So.
Oh, that's so nice. And this is hilarious. This picture of this doggy.
This is Bullet. This is Dave's buddy. Is just the most amazing, calm dog you could ever see.
Oh.
Yeah, and Dave dresses him up like that all the time. So that's not me. That's Dave.
He's my little doll.
So yeah, you stole your hat, Dave. I bet he's the only one that can get away with it, huh?
I love that.
Calendar.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that.
He sent that last picture in, and he won the contest, and he was on a calendar.
Oh.
A puppy
this one?
calendar. Yeah. Yeah, he won the contest and got on the cover of a calendar.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Oh, that's so awesome. And then these are all your doggies?
Yep, that's Bullet. You got Bullet, Sadie, Captain, Bandit, and Lizzie. The little black one, she's my baby. She sleeps on my head every night. And
I can't believe they're all so good wearing all those things on their heads. Like they're all just so good.
Oh yeah.
My goodness.
Well,
Oh,
you can
They're
imagine
very
we have
cute.
a king size bed and all 5 of them sleep with us.
oh, that's
So nobody gets
hilarious.
left out.
Oh, I
Nothing
love
wrong
that.
with that.
And you knew when I got hurt, the dogs knew it and they would be careful, but Dave wouldn't let them around me. So they would sit on the outside of a cage that Dave had me in and sit there and cry because they couldn't get near me.
Oh,
So they're very
Oh.
passionate dogs.
So since you said about you getting hurt, tell us what happened. I have the X-ray I show, but I want you to tell us first what happened.
Well, like it was the day after Christmas and we were in the hot tub. I got out, I ran inside, and for some reason, my left foot went forward and the rest of me went the other way. And I had a 11-inch spiral break
On your femur.
on my femur.
Wow. Wow.
So, in that picture I sent you, the doctor that fixed it had never seen one. So he said, I'll do my best. And that's what he did, and it ended up breaking.
Within weeks.
So, like the top 2 screws broke, and he made my leg Swiss cheese, basically.
So
So
I make sure I've got this right. So the doctor that did this said he had not done this before. Is that what you said?
he said he's never seen a spiral break like that. So
But he would do his best.
He would do his best. So he put the screws in, and 2 of them broke, and he put 1 screw in right where one of the breaks were. So my leg was never going to heal.
But it was a
Wow.
non-union, and the new doctor said the way he did it, it would never have come together and healed ever.
Wow. So
That was in 2022.
Yeah, that is a scary X-ray right there. To see those broken. And so did they have to go in and just take everything out and do it all again, Sandy?
Yeah, we went to a doctor in Orlando, and he was actually going on vacation, and he canceled his first day of vacation because he said he needed to do my surgery right away. And he ended up taking everything out that doctor did. He put a rod in my leg. He put, I had to do a bone graft because all the holes that the other doctor did, he had to fill them in. He said there's no way he could just let it go.
But this doctor is one of the top 5 doctors for orthopedics in the country that ChatGPT helped us find. He was awesome.
Wow.
He fixed Shaquille O'Neal's hand.
Oh,
right?
Wow. So
then,
since it's been good since then, Sandy?
No, I was in still a lot of pain. And so we end up, I had a knee replacement way before then, like in 2020. Well, when I fell, I loosened my knee. So I was going to get my knee replaced. The doctor that was going to do that, he looked at my knee and looked at my blood count and said, you have an infection. And so January of last year, they took out all the metal out of my leg. And my knee, everything. I didn't have anything in my leg for 3 months. So I couldn't walk.
That's when we put the cage so the dogs couldn't get near her because she was fighting an infection, and there's no way no dogs are going to get near my wife while she's fighting an infection. So.
Right.
But, they had me on. I had to do antibiotics for 3 months, and then in April he said I'm all good. He put a new knee in, and I'm today. Last month, it was the first time I actually was able to walk without. I can carry stuff. Like I can carry a laundry basket now. I can do the treadmill. I can do the bike.
She's actually recovering.
Yeah.
Now.
So I'm finally recovering after so many years.
Wow.
Yay.
Do you
I
have
wouldn't have
any
been able to do any of it without Dave, though.
any hardware in your leg or just the kneecap?
Yep, I still have a knee replacement,
but
and he put a
short rod.
A short rod up my femur to protect my femur, but basically said don't fall. because I still have a lot of holes in my leg. And he said, just don't fall and it won't break. So that's what I'm
Wow.
doing.
So you guys are on vacation finally, and you can on a road trip, and you can enjoy yourself and get out
Yep.
there. Thank God. So that you're able to do that now. What an ordeal. What a
Yeah.
Well,
road.
it's a
Wow.
Holy
working
smoke.
it's a working vacation. We're still working.
Yeah.
We're visiting customers this week.
Yeah. We're going to
Oh,
Denver to visit a customer and then California to visit Dave's dad. And he hasn't seen him for so long, so that's going to be exciting.
But the most important part of your trip is going to be when?
In March.
Yeah, they're coming to
March
Threadfest.
19th.
Yes.
Yay.
awesome.
So
That's
that's why we
so
didn't get to talk about that. That's why you were going to Texas, Sandy. Buried the lead.
I begged and begged and begged, and they made sure that their schedule worked out. So I'm happy.
oh, that's gonna be so
Either.
fun.
Oh,
That's
that
so
has been,
awesome.
oh gosh, I wish I could go.
Yeah, that's gonna be so much fun. You
That
guys
is
are just
going
gonna
to
have a
be off the
blast.
charts.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear who else is going? I heard last night, Patriot Underground.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think
It's
this
going to
one
be
of his first times
amazing.
out. Yeah.
It's going to be an amazing, amazing event.
Oh,
And Patrick is a showman, so it was going to be
oh,
amazing anyway. It's going to be fun, but with everybody there, and this will be the first time a lot of these guys have met in person, and
mhm.
that's going to be, it's going to be magical on so many levels. It's going to be awesome.
it's going to be such a
Yeah.
quiet week, though. Nobody's going to be able to podcast because nobody's.
No, I think I think most of them are doing pre-records, and there's probably going to be. I'm guessing. Well, Patrick said they're doing a D class live from Threadfest.
That would be
Um,
awesome.
I think the Saturday night one's going to be live. So yeah, there should be pre-records that week, and so it won't be like we don't have anything, but it'll be
I would
fun.
love to I would love to be live to go live and
Yeah.
have like MedExam or somebody on the ground there and you guys on the ground and be able to call in or that
I'll
would
do
be
it for
so
you.
fun.
I'll do it
We
for you.
should.
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Well,
I'll
we've
do
got
it.
time. Yeah, we've got time to figure that out.
Mhm.
That'd be awesome. I would love to do that. That would be so
Yes.
great.
Good.
Yay. All right, so I want to keep going. So I have some cool pictures. MagaDi did some collage pictures so we can take a look at. The first one is a lot of beautiful scenes. Is that where you live?
Some of it's where I live, some of it not. So those who know me very well know that I love my sunrises. The house I'm in now, I actually chose the lot. It backs up to one of those neighborhood ponds. And I wanted to be able to face east from the back so I would see the sun coming up and get the reflection on the water. So if you watch Absolute Storm on Sundays in the Armor of God section, Stormy's
Yeah.
been putting my pictures, my sunrises, on the
Uh,
Dave Costanza, Pastor Dave's slide. There's usually a picture right there, and that's my backyard. It's so a couple of those are my backyard, but I also live, 5 to 10 minutes from the beach, and so some of those are beach. The one in the top where it says God's daily gift, the left right.
yeah.
It's the with the boats in it. That one I took. So this is the God thing. The God thing is true because whenever I took that picture, I had been driving from the Myrtle Beach area up to Plymouth, Massachusetts, somewhere I'd never been through absolute hell with all the interstate. Everything's being worked on, all the road construction. I got to tell you, for a Southern girl driving up north, even on I-95, it was nuts because they don't do anything right. It's like they don't
Yeah.
even have like their rest areas are not called rest areas, and they're in the middle of the interstate instead of over on the side, and it's just very confusing.
Always
And
closed.
they call things different things, so it's just it was a lot. So and I'd slept in the car a little bit just to make sure that I got there, but whenever I got there, I was literally like a couple of blocks from the hotel. My GPS stopped for whatever reason, my phone, the GPS stopped. I was like, okay, well, I know I need to get to the water. And I literally was in Plymouth, Massachusetts. So I was like, well, I know the water's over there. So I drove down to the water, and that's what I got.
Stunning.
And I had been
I
driving
mean,
for hours. What's the chances of me getting there at the time that I get this amazing sunrise?
That's
yeah,
So
amazing.
that's one of those God gifts. So,
it
that
is.
it is the one in the middle. That's the Grand Canyon.
Oh,
Whenever Badlands started their guards, I went to all of them in person. All of them
wow.
except for I didn't do Deadwood last year. And now I'm doing Threadfest instead. But the first guard, it was back whenever COVID, pilots had taken the jab, and they were dying in the plane. The sky is like, yeah, I'm not going to fly. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
So I drove from South Carolina to Arizona and just made it a road trip. It was just me by myself. Went to the first guard. Did not know anybody. Didn't leave with a lot of friends either because I was so nervous. And I'm an introvert, so it was very uncomfortable. But one of the things that I was smart enough to do is on my way out, I spent an extra night up at the Grand Canyon so I could do my sunrise. So this was me freezing cold in on the South Rim. I think it's the South Rim, and taking my sunrise picture,
It's
and
Yeah.
beautiful.
and then going home. And so the rest of these are more around the area where I am, but there's something about the sky, the water, and the reflection,
Hmm.
and being
Absolutely.
present. You have to be present in that moment because
Yeah.
the sky, the colors, sometimes literally it only lasts for like seconds, sometimes a minute, and it's gone.
Right. Yeah.
And
You know,
so I'm watching it
it's
every
so
night.
true. And that's such the most glorious things in life come obviously from God. And and when you start to really, and I think all of us are in a place now where we really start to enjoy and understand the magnitude of the beauty that we have. And not only did God, supplies all the food that we need for nourishment and for healing, all the water that we need, all of the most beautiful uh scenery, from the mountains to the shores, and everything is provided, and we've become so far away from that purposefully, but we're coming back. And then that's the incredible divine balance of technology and AI, is that we're going to have that, but people are going to want to get back to what's real too.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
being on the in the earth, and the food and the water and the sun and the mountains and and so it's just such an incredible time. And I think we all just appreciate all of it, so the beauty and all of that so much. um so here's a next fun one I want to add. So here's a collage, kind of, just take us through this. I'm going to try to do full screen on this. Okay,
Yeah,
share
so
us.
yeah, well, whenever I was talking to Tricia about this, she's like, it would be kind of cool to see some behind the scenes. You know, Paul and Barb call me mom, Dave and Rambo call me mom, Mark Messina calls me mom, uh, Stormy calls me mom. How did that happen? And so basically, what I've done is I've got several slides with a whole bunch of pictures, and this is kind of like my family album. I do have a
Yeah.
daughter in real life, and I've got three little grandkids who are amazing, between
Mhm.
7 and 1. But that's that isn't part of this. This is actually,
Mhm.
like a lot of us, not all of my family is awake, so my life is
Right.
kind of separate. So I
Yeah.
thought, so I thought this would be kind of cool because if you notice in the top corner, there's a guy in a hat with a dog.
Mhm.
Who's
So I jokingly say that's Dave's girlfriend because my dog Daisy loves Dave. Oh my God. She was so upset whenever he left. He actually stayed here for a while, whenever Paul and Barb were here house sitting for me. And I tell you what, that dog just loved him. So that's his girlfriend. So I've got pictures
Aw.
of my animals. So I have two dogs right now. I do adoptions. The black one with the little black and white cat. That's Leo. He's one of my profile pictures, and he's a heartworm positive rescue that I got. And I don't know, he's 5 or 6 years old. I'm not sure. The black and white cat is, I think, on my ex profile. That's Annabelle. She and the gray cat on the bottom are litter mates. They're literally brother and sister. There were two of
Oh,
him,
so
three of her.
nice.
They look so different, but they are just magical cats. They're just wonderful. And then Daisy's got another picture up there, but um, these are some of the pictures that I have that didn't really fit on the other slides too well. But up in the other corner, you'll see where I've got family shots. Paul's done a lot of the absolute storm, and he did back in the day Eye of the Storm from here a few times as well. And this is one of the times, behind the scenes, me taking a picture
Oh,
of
yeah, yeah,
what
when he
it's
was doing the
like to
show.
actually see him doing, because we only see him on camera, right? So for me, it was kind of cool. So I didn't ask his
Yeah.
permission. I didn't ask anybody's permission, but I took all of these pictures. Either I took them or Barb took a few of them because she's got
Mhm.
longer arms and she likes to do the selfies. But um,
We
yeah,
only
so
see the right side
yeah,
of him too,
yeah,
MagaDi.
yeah. So
What?
this,
We only see
I'm
the right
sorry.
side of Paul.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, exactly. That's
Paul has
funny.
more than
So tell
one.
us
Yeah, he has multiple sides. It's
so
kind of funny.
tell us about this group.
So you'll hear Dave and Rambo and Paul and some others talk about Selma
Yes.
sometimes because Selma is one of those amazing weekends. Um, Paul and Barb had been talking to General Flynn's people. They said, "No, you really need to go." And Paul's like, "Ugh, I don't know if I want to," because he didn't know anybody. And so me being me, I was like, "Oh no, we're going." So I got a ticket
Mhm.
to the Reawaken America. We went to, I met them there because they're driving from Charlotte. I'm driving up from the beach. And so we were there, didn't know what to expect. Obviously met Flynn, met some others, but um, I had met Michelle Duck on Fire through a Zoom that we did with another group. So I knew that she was going. I had met Mark 8-Track previously a little bit, but I hadn't really met him. And so, and Beer and Patty were there. So this turned out to be an incredible, I mean, the ripples of this weekend, I still see showing up, and it's
Oh,
just amazing. So to be in the picture on the bottom with everybody in here, um,
yeah.
there are a lot of people. There's a couple of people in here who have not doxed themselves, so I can't tell you who a
Yeah.
couple of them are. But you'll see Mark Messina in the middle. I got to be honest with you. This is the time too that Mark won my heart because a lot of people don't connect with you. Like if Mark's talking to you, Mark's looking you in the eye. He sees
Mhm.
you, and that's part of what is so wonderful about him. And so I just felt so welcome. And I'd known Betsy, I knew Michelle, Mary, from Home Ranger from Beer Show. Her and Todd were there. Seth Keschel, the tallest guy there. You got Dave and Rambo in the back. That was the first weekend that we met Dave and Rambo. So this was when Paul met Dave and Rambo.
Oh, very cool.
That's
And
Yes.
so
yeah, so the Flynn Jr. was there. The dinner that we had, it was just amazing, and just I'm
MagaDi,
so grateful that I actually went.
what day so the bottom picture there, do you know, was that taken on Friday or let's see, no, it was Saturday, Sunday, wasn't it? Was it Saturday,
It was the
Sunday?
night we went to that little. There was. I guess it was probably Saturday. I'd have to go back and look, but we
Or
all
the
went to
last
that.
day?
There's that little um, tiny little bar in
Yeah.
Selma. And this was
Yeah.
behind it because they had kind of like an outdoor area behind it, but this was in the alley, and we were just all, standing in front of that wall, and it was
It's
just amazing.
It's
They did
it's
karaoke, which was
yeah.
it was
It's
fun.
so
for
funny because I look at this picture now and I see so many people now that I recognize, but
Mhm,
I only went there on the last day. So that was
mhm,
the day that first time that I met Dave and Rambo and
mhm,
Abs.
mhm.
And you and I were talking, and I was like, because you're like, well, I
I
was
had to have
probably
met
like
you.
right
Yeah,
there.
I had to have met you, but yeah.
Yeah, and then now that I see the pictures, and I'm like, I think I do remember you. And I think it was when everybody was in the back, and then
Hmm.
Trey Smith was back there as well. And I got really excited when I saw him because I have all his books. But it's just funny because I didn't like looking at there. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so and so. Like all of these people now that we've
Yeah.
known just like 14 months
It
later.
was like the family I didn't know I was about to have.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It
that's
was
so
just so
awesome.
It
cool.
really, it really is.
Because when I
Before we
went there, I
keep
went by
going,
myself. I didn't know anybody. I just went totally. Well, me and
Well,
Ivy went.
so
and
that's a really important point though, because I see in the chats a lot of times people say, "Oh, well, I don't know anybody," or I'd have
Mhm,
to go by myself. I have gone to everything by myself. Almost,
mhm.
even if I'm meeting people there, I'm always going by myself. And I didn't know anybody. And so I had to get out of my comfort zone because, I mean, I got to be honest with you, right now, there's not really a lot of people in my regular life that are awake. I got a couple of work friends, but they're in different parts of the country. And so, I mean, literally, I could go for 2 weeks and never leave my house, but I'm in chats all the time with all these wonderful people in this community, and I don't realize that I haven't left my house in 2 weeks. so so
oh,
it's just it's I'm not alone. I'm not alone, but
right.
there's a difference between being in the chats and getting off your butt and going to one of these events. And I know they're kind of pricey, but I decided a long time ago after I'd gone to one. I don't care if I have to eat beanie weenies and not spend any money for the rest of my life. I'm going to these events because I feel my cup is so full whenever I
Yeah,
spend time physically with people. Plus, I'm a hugger, so I get so much out of this that it's life giving to me.
it's
And
energy.
Yeah.
so
It's an
I'm
energy.
driving to Threadfest. I'm driving
Yeah.
to Texas, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited about it, and I'm going to go back down to Sandy and Dave's, and I'm going to go back and see my boys in Jupiter. And I just I love getting out and going and seeing people.
Absolutely. That's such a great point. And so before we keep going, though, I want to do my due diligence and thank everybody's just so wonderful in the chat. But MC Ryder gave one subscription. Thank you so much for that. That's so kind. Rollerbug gave $17. Love you girls. Always a great show. Much love, chat family. Indeed, so much. And Shireen C. Cants, Dalahala to
Sherry
some amazing lady.
McCants, Sherry
Okay.
McCants.
Jerry McCann. Where we go, when we go, all God bless. That was so nice. Thank you. And of course, Med Exam. What a heart. $20. What a phenomenal show. Many blessings to all of you. We love you, Chase. Thank you for always just being here and being you. Um, and then MC Ryder gave another subscription that was so awfully nice too. So thank you. And another one. This is so kind. I can't believe it. So thank you all in the chat. I mean, this really is our family, and it's just such a wonderful
Hmm.
it's just such
Hey,
a wonderful feeling. Yes, Tricia. Yes.
MC Ryder actually at the very beginning gave 5 subscriptions as well. Yeah, I didn't want to miss that.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you. Yeah.
so awesome. Thank you so much. So I want to also get your thoughts about something because they might be totally different. And I've done this in other interviews that I've done because it was such a pivotal point in our history, current history, that we're alive. What were your thoughts on 9/11? Each of you, what was that day like for you? First, Sandy, do you remember where you were that day?
Well, I worked third shift, so I had just gotten home from work, and I was sitting there, and I was just in shock. I I didn't even go to bed that day. Actually, I was in shock all day, and I went to work
Mm-hmm.
that night thinking this is unbelievable. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. What about you, MagaDi?
I was driving to the grocery store when the first plane if it did. And then
Mhm.
whenever I came out of the grocery store, the second one was reported. Um, my daughter was small. She was like 10, and so she was in school. And I was upset. I didn't come from skyscraper country, so I didn't know that, that wasn't really a lot, something that was probably going to happen. 9/11, I didn't realize what a hoax it was and what it really was until after Q. And that's whenever I started actually hearing from people who had the education with the buildings so that I could get data points to say, oh, oh, no, this is not right. But until then, I didn't have any points of reference. I was angry. I was upset. And, I probably reacted like everybody else. But I love the fact that whenever you'd go into stores and see people, it was just different. Everybody, it was like an instant empathy with each other. And people, I remember Lowe's, the home improvement place down here, they did these bumper stickers with the American flag on it. I can't remember what it says now, but everybody had one of those stickers on their car, whether
Yeah,
they shop there or not. And so just the patriotic surge was so strong. And I remember that, and I'm grateful for that. Um, and I'm glad to see that coming back. But that was my 9/11 experience.
yeah. And that when you talk about that patriotism, yes, that they talk about the September 12th, what happened, because that was when all that the we all came together patriotically. And it was actually probably it amazes me when I've interviewed people and they questioned it then, because I that was just so far from I think we were all so traumatized,
Yeah.
too. But it's amazing 25 years later, um, what we're finding out. If it the level of evil that we're learning about is, it's we've talked about this too, it's gonna be hard for people because we have had time to digest this a little bit, but other people are gonna be coming in pretty hard and swift with all of this, intel coming out, um, so it really is gonna be an an incredible and wild and interesting and a wild ride here, I think that this year. Don't you
Yeah,
MagaDi, if you wanna
I think it's going to be really hard for us though, because we've already been through the emotions, all of the things that go with what we've been going through for the last few years, especially since Q came out, and like the last 10 years. And people who are just waking up, their heads are exploding. They're like all of this emotion is just churning. And I see it sometimes in the chats. And one of the things I think we really need to be thinking about is we're awake for a reason. We need to help them. We need to not say, well, you should have known that. Why didn't you know that? Uh, They do now, and they're listening. And that's important, and we need to bring them with us. But they're going to have to go through all of that crap that we've already been through.
Yeah,
And that's going to be hard for a lot of people in our community because we don't necessarily have the patience sometimes that we should have, myself included. So
yeah. So I'd
it's
be
just
curious, MagaDi, since you're so familiar with so many chats in this community, can you and you watch it so closely, can you tell, one, when there's a new person? Can you tell when there's a question? Is there times where their questions go so fast it can't be answered? I mean, how is that whole world sometimes?
yeah, some of the chats go by really fast and you really can't keep up with it. Um, because so our community is amazing, and a lot of the same people watch a lot of the same shows. So the audience for Dave and Rambo is the same as pretty much for Absolute Storm and BB and some of the others. So there are some other shows that have a cross
Right.
section from other places. So whenever I go into chats, if it's ones that I'm modding for, yeah, I can actually see new people in chats that I haven't seen before. They might have been there and I might have missed them, but they're not regulars. And it's really
Mhm.
weird because I know the regulars. So whenever I'm going in, I'm trying to say hey to everybody. And it's really weird because I had a friend sitting with me one time and they're like, how the hell do you know that you already said good hello to that person? I'm like, I can't explain it now. Click, 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 click. And so but I know these people, right? I feel like these people are my friends, and I talk to them, and if I see that there's a question, I try to help them. But thank God, we've got amazing mods and these shows, because sometimes it's hard to do by yourself. But you're trying to watch it, trying to make sure that everybody's being good. But we get bots and trolls, and sometimes you have to put a muzzle on people for a little while to let them think about and put them in timeout. Um, so it's never dull. It's never dull.
Yeah,
I just
but
chuckle
it
because my recruiting hat goes on, and I'm like, did we even have a job title called, podcast moderator, like,
Could
before
write you one.
before COVID? Like, it just,
Write you one. Yeah,
and now I'm
could
trying to
write.
envision how people will put that, on their resume, and thinking about, the type of skill sets that translate from that to, something else. And it's just an
Well,
observation, talking out loud.
yeah, no, it's really funny because I'm in IT. So I do IT project management. So I'm used to having like a lot of different things going on and getting into technical details. So I kind of wear that hat, and sometimes like we were talking about, sometimes the shows overlap and I may have two or three chats going at the same time, and that's okay. Um, but
yeah.
it's such a great community. It's a blessing.
Yeah, this is so interesting too. So my youngest daughter, who's an adult, she doesn't know anything. I mean, she knows what I do because she does my tech stuff for me, but she's not doesn't watch any of it. She knows exactly who moderators are because her friend are in the gaming world,
Hmm.
and the gamers have huge chats, and they have to have moderators that are really on top of things because I think things get pretty dicey in the gaming world. So she was aware of moderators, but our moderators have a completely different world, that you guys are dealing with. Some maybe not so as others. Do you have some? Still, you have some problems, Diane?
Well, I mean, I've been a gamer as well, so
Oh,
it's not as much these days because I don't have time anyway. But in my younger life, I was a gamer as well because I've been in IT. I worked at a major software manufacturer in the Pacific Northwest, and we just play games a lot. So yeah, it is a lot the same. It is very same,
it's
but we've got a really good audience though. This audience, I've been in chats for other, I'm going to say collectives or communities within the truther movement, and this is unique. Our chats are unique with the
mhm,
quality of people that are in them.
yeah,
They're
they
amazing
they
people.
are. Yeah. So Sandy, are you when you watch some of these, Sandy, do you look at the chats often? Um,
Be good.
No, I don't look at the chat. Dave does, and then he tells me.
okay. Yeah, you should look sometimes because it's own world. It's just its own world, and it's but it's a different world than most other chats. I mean, these are just really wonderful, loving, supportive people, and I'm gosh, I feel fortunate enough to be a part of this. I think somehow we all found each other in
Mhm.
in this group, but it's when you step out of this bubble and you do see other chats, it is like, wow, yikes, yuck.
Yeah.
This is the real world, out here or something. But I don't know
Mhm.
how we could have such a difference of loving. Why do you think that is, Diane?
I think it's because the podcasters that we're working with, they're real. They're real. They're not putting on a show. I can tell you that, my boys, as I like to call them, Paul and Stormy and Mark and Dave and Rambo, they're the same off camera that they are on. They're brilliant. They're
Mhm.
funny. They're real, and they're not trying to be something they're not. They're not trying to
Right.
impress anybody. It is what it is. And I think that's part of the joy of this. And BB's the same way. She's
Mhm.
brilliant, and she's just, if there's a problem, she'll just tell you right out, okay, I suck at this, or this is what happened, and it's great because it's much more relatable, and I've gotten to know them as well, and they're the
Mhm.
exact same off camera, and that's what
Mhm.
a lot of people are not, and I've seen that firsthand in other parts of the community, outside of our chat community, where people are very worried about their brand or very worried about they want to be arbiter of the truth or what they says is more important, and these guys, it's like whatever. So it's just a different vibe all around, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. And it's interesting, the people that I've interviewed, for the Truth Teller Tales interview, um, the ones that have said yes, obviously don't care because I don't have that many people who follow, and I had way less, back then too. And so the people that have said yes have been pretty darn genuine, to
Mhm,
to say yes to it. Um, and so I have, had genuine and good interviews as well.
mhm.
Ivan Raiklin was, the hardest one, for sure, that I
He's
had.
everybody's hardest one.
Yeah,
He
but
he's
uh,
different.
yeah, he threw me for a loop there, but it was okay. It's all okay. But it really, it is fascinating just to dive into these different worlds, and some of them,
Mhm,
they don't get rants, they don't get subscriptions or whatever. It's just
mhm.
not part of their, and it's just different, and people just come and go, and they're not they don't have an alliance or a
There's not a
community
connection
that.
with the audience.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. Exactly. It's just a
Mhm,
completely different feel, and people,
mhm,
and so this is just really, it's just a really unique and family, and
mhm,
I'm, um as we talked about before too, Tricia and I talked about this a lot, and I want you to Tricia, say this too, is that you all are just so important because you set the whole tone for so
mhm,
many shows, and for the love and everything. Um, Tricia, I know we've talked about this before.
Oh yeah, and then that's what the whole basis of Labor of Love was about. Was it's like when you get done interviewing the podcasters for the time capsule, what about all of the other people behind the scenes? Because all of the pieces, make it a whole, and that includes supporting spouses. We
mhm,
had was it our second? No, it was our third show with Barb and Patty.
mhm,
And at that time, Barb was doing a lot to support abs, and I think she had started doing some mod stuff, but we were coming at it from the angle of the supportive spouses. And I'm not knocking mine, but I know that when I got into this, I woke up and
mhm.
so I woke up first. And so it's kind of the hiding in the room, or, trying to get my podcast fix in or whatever, because without somebody hearing what I'm listening to, because they think I'm batshit, crazy. And
Yeah.
so it's, when you do have that, that's why I'm like salivating at, Sandi and Dave, because I'm like, that's so huge,
Mhm,
and so that's really, really important and really powerful that you guys can have that. And there's a lot of people listening that we've heard throughout this movement. There's just story after story after story that it's not, people just aren't that unified yet. And I'm seeing some progress,
mhm.
finally, and now I'm embracing that, and I'm like, I've been waiting for this day.
Yeah,
So, but
slowly,
yeah,
slowly.
I know, and I'm rambling, but getting back to how supportive that is, and it's huge. It's just huge, and again, everybody brings a little something. individually, we cannot save the entire world. But guess what?
Right.
When we get together and we do this collectively and we figure out what it like, I'm like Ellen and I are always joking. We're like, we're not diggers. But what can we do? We can be positive. We can highlight and amplify other people behind the scenes, and we can help people be more comfortable about talking to us, because guess what? There's other people that are behind the scenes too, that are shy, that want to do something and they want to be a part of it. But they don't want to sit there and do a podcast, that's not their thing, but everybody is important. I get excited. And so I'm getting animated about this. That's why we do this. It's not like you don't hear much about us. We want to hear about y'all, and we want to introduce y'all to the audience, and we want to share you with the audience.
We have a question from Faith Jet, who gave $1. Good morning, ladies. MagaDi, any idea of percentage of Aussies in these groups? I came over with Dave in the beginning from Australia channel. So envious you can get to these events.
We have a lot of Aussies, and we have a lot of Aussies. Actually, one of Dave's admins, Claudia, is an Australian. So, with our friend Burn Notice, Tim, that's kind of what got my attention with some of the Aussies. But we have a lot of Aussies in our chat. I'm starting to see a lot more people from the UK. We've got some regulars from the Netherlands, from Germany. We're getting a lot more people from Europe showing up. We have folks from South Africa. We've got folks all over the world. I was thinking about that the other day. The only place I don't really hear about is Asia. And I'm guessing that some of that's because of censorship. We're not going to get anybody from China because I'm sure we're blocked. Absolutely. But I haven't seen anybody from Asia, but we seem to be hitting everywhere else. And there are a lot of Aussies in our chats. And I love that because it's morning for them. We get people now that say, hey, it's 3:00 in the morning. I'm going to bed. And I'm like, I'm so glad that you were here. But it's important, and they need that community too. And
Who
I'm
asked
so glad
that?
they find us.
Who asked that question, Ellen? Because that's the little God movement. Because Ellen, what were we talking about last week? Doing an Aussie panel.
Faith Jet.
Yes,
I think
that's
it was
right. Faith Jet. Faith Jet. Yes,
All right.
exactly.
Stay tuned, Faith.
Yes. So Sandy, I want to ask you a question. So when you met everybody in person, was there anybody that was just a real hoot, that was just kind of a character, or stuck out in your mind, or were they all characters in their own way?
No, they were all characters. That was the first time I got to hang out with Abs and Barb, and they were so much fun. They had stopped by the house before that, but I didn't get to hang out with them. And that was the first time, and I just loved both of them. They had me laughing, and then people would come up to me, and I'm Miss Microtoolmaker, and
I'm Sandy's husband.
So it was like, yeah. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. It actually, going down there opened my eyes a lot, meeting all those people, and I think the first time I actually really, really got to, like, oh, wow, this is really cool, is when I did get hurt and Dave went in there, and all the prayers and everybody that were sending prayers to me and hoping that everything went well, that touched me a lot, because, you don't get that anywhere, so, but yeah, they were all just great people.
And did it make it also some of the things that they disclose on their podcast? Did it make it seem more real to you as opposed to just Dave telling you?
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And and when I was there, it was like I was able to put names to faces, and then I understood, like, like how they were presenting themselves. Like Dave would say one thing, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But then I met the like for instance, Abs. I never, I never thought when I hear his name, I wouldn't have thought of how he looked. And I'm like, oh, he's such a cool guy. And same with Diane too. I was so nervous when she came over. Like
Aw.
I'm the kind of person is I hope they like me kind of person. So it was like
And I
I think
fell
I
in
cleaned
love.
my house 3 times before Diane got there. So and then when I met her, she's just down to earth. I'm like, oh, what was I worried about? So
Babies
Like,
and dogs and cats like me, so that's a good sign.
oh, I mean, and that is this group in a nutshell for sure. So MC Ryder gave another gift, and what a treasure. Thank you so much. And another one. Gosh, that's just so awesomely nice. I can't even. And then another. The heck? This is so fantastic. Thank you so much. So I want to put the bug in everybody's ear. So I want to be Truth Teller Tales. I want to be the official channel that can go live at the Thread Fest and be able to interview. And Tricia, we can do it together, and we can whoever can go live with us and talk to us and kind of have their camera and be that person, the people to be live with you guys. So plant the seed because I want to be that. So we
Okay,
could
who
do
knows
that.
Patrick? Who knows Patrick? Well,
I I know Patrick. I'm not sure I'd say well, but I know Patrick.
okay.
He's been at all the GARTs, and I've met him through all the GARTs, and he's going to be uh, hovering around wherever the guys are anyway. So I'm
I can't wait to meet him one day. He is hilarious.
he is
I
Mhm.
he's a
love
ball of energy. He is so stinking smart, and
Yes.
he's just. And I got to be honest. So I'm going to say something. So
I do.
I've known Patrick since other events. So since GART one. I can tell such a difference in Patrick right now. He seems so much happier, and I'm not talking about the baby. I'm just talking about his whole life right now. And God puts us where we need to be when we need to be there. And sometimes God takes us out of places. And I think for Patrick, as somebody who's watched him for years now, it's so wonderful to see the chemistry and the interactions because I feel like he's contributing more. He's actually a lot more engaged than he had been in the past, and I think that's wonderful, and that's the kind of effect that it's also had on me. I used to not be in the chats because I'm not going to do that, but I'm more involved. I think the whole feel of this community, I think Ellen, you're the one that said, mods kind of set the tone, but I want people in the chat whenever they come into these shows for the first time, I want them to feel like, oh wow, I like being here. I'd like to come
Yeah.
back because we get people who drop in going, I was rated in. I don't even know where I am. It's like, oh, okay, well, here's where you are. Please come back and say hello because I want them to feel like it's family because to me it is. I think almost everybody in the chat that I'm looking at right now, I talk to all the time and I feel like
Mhm.
they're family. And I really love that. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it has an effect on all of the podcasters as well.
Absolutely. That's why you
Mhm.
guys are so important.
Without a doubt, so important. I mean,
But
it's just so important.
I'm not going to let you go, MagaDi, without you do wonderful as a mod. You're you're the mom to all a mom to all the boys. But I want you to tell them about how you supported them in the beginning and how you sold your Mustang.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Well, so to me, so
Is this okay?
yeah, no, it's fine. I'm trying to think. So for me personally, I grew up, I didn't really know anything about my ancestors and things like that. So I did the ancestry thing and was, kind of found out where, when my relatives came to this country. And my first relative that's documented coming to this country was 1678. And the man brought his wife and his brother, who was a minister, over here. And then he had to go back to England for 5 years as an indentured servant to pay for it.
Mm.
That was how my relatives, and then I had a lot that just came straight into North Carolina. They were farmers. It was families. There was no slaves. There was nothing of that. It was just Scottish people who got kicked out of their own country or came here from freedom. And, they were in the Carolinas and everything. So I've got ancestors who fought in every freaking war that this country's ever had. I've
Wow.
had somebody in there, and I've always felt a little weird about the fact that I wasn't in the military. My dad was like, "No, no, 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 no." He was in the military. He served one term, and he was in the Signal Corps. So he was doing something with teletypes and stuff. But I didn't go in the military. And as I started to understand what this was, what we were facing, the kind of enormity of what was going on, I'm in the military for this, right? Because that's why I love this digital army notation, even though we're not military.
Hmm.
I still think our roles are so important. And these guys who are doing these podcasts, I mean, they're it's so important to what we're doing and to winning all of this. And I just look at it, I've got these three beautiful grandchildren. And even though my daughter's not terribly awake, she's awake in some places, but not in others. So my family doesn't really understand this part or even know about this part of my life, which is a huge part of my life. I couldn't not support it. So whenever Stormy and Abs went out on their own, I didn't want there to be any doubt at all anywhere on this earth that I absolutely supported their shows and also Dave and Rambo. And in order to do that, it takes money sometimes. I wanted it to be very visible because I wanted to make a statement that I don't believe there's one flavor of Kool-Aid or that I can only watch certain shows. I should be able to watch whatever resonates with me. And I feel
Right.
very strongly about that. And so I decided I needed to reduce a car payment. So I have one car that's already paid for, making payments on the other. And I had a beautiful 2024 Mustang Premium GT Fastback. I can talk
Oh.
cars. I can talk cars all day. And I mean, I won awards with that car. It was stunning. And Barb and Paul loved it. I probably shouldn't say. Paul said, "I've never wanted to hump a car before." It was just a gorgeous car. But I
Oh, the
sold the
boys are
car.
going to clip that.
Yeah, I know. But I sold the car because I couldn't do what I needed to do. And I don't. Yeah, I am an introvert, even though the chat says no, you're not. I'm an extroverted introvert. And so I I didn't want to do rants because what am I going to say? I don't know. So I started dropping Red Castle. So I did gift subscriptions because to me, gift subscriptions are really important because as these Rumble channels are building out, if I'm giving $5 a month to the ones that I support, in volume, that makes a huge difference. And you guys can grow and you've got a more stable income level than just rants. So that's where I chose to put my attention and focus because I was somewhat limited. And that's how I ended up being friends with Microtoolmaker. We'd have pew pew parties where we'd be in a chat, and it's like, oh, there's a handful of people without red castles, pew pew pew, and we'd see who could get to them first, and we had so much fun with that. But that was also fun for me because, I was trying to also help the guys understand you guys need to call people out whenever they're gifting these because it may only be $5, but if you're doing it through Apple charges you more. And so people are actually doing that to give these gift subscriptions, and I think they're really important. And the way that Rumble works, Rumble doesn't save those with the rants. So
Yeah.
if you've noticed over the past year, Dave and Rambo and Abs and Stormy, they're all and BB, they're all talking about and thanking the gift subs. It's because they're having to write them down
Yeah.
or capture them
Mhm.
somehow because it's not. But that was part of my message back to them is, guys, this is important. You need to be capturing this during the show and make sure that you're shouting those out. Those are just as important as rants. And if you
Mhm.
do get a gift sub, you can go into Rumble and you can, whenever the month expires, you can renew it and you can do it on your own. But if you see somebody and their background is red and they've got that little red castle icon, that means that they're a monthly subscriber. And I love it whenever I go in chats and almost everybody is got a red castle. I love that because that means that they're actually supporting on a more regular basis the channels that
Yeah.
they love.
Yeah. Wow. What a dedicated labor of love you are for these folks. It's just so, so incredible. I mean, what an incredibly important part of this movement you are, and the moderators are, and the chat, and all the people that support. I mean, it really does take all of us, and obviously Microtoolmaker and has just been an incredible supporter, just unbelievable supporter in so many ways. And he's been on our labor of love. Everyone needs to go back and watch that. And then Sandy, to being his support in all of this too, and being open to everything. And and she spread such a light. Sandy, you might feel like you're a little shy, but when we had, I don't even remember who I was talking to, but I was talking that we were having Micro Toolmaker on, and
Scott.
I
Scott
mean,
went
because it was
nuts.
all about Sandy. It was all about
Yeah.
and I mean, everything was about Sandy, and good
Mhm.
She's the
gosh, and
star.
everybody,
She's what motivates
yeah,
me.
I became
wow.
Sandy bait to get Sandy on the show.
Yes, you did.
That's why I'm here.
I mean, and you were such a light. You obviously, when you walk in a room, just you light up the room because you affected the people that you met in person, Sandy, in such a way that they were speaking about you. And obviously your authenticity shined through to all those people. So what a joy you are,
Thank
as
you.
well. But we mean it because it's, I mean, the authenticity is real and true, and we are a group of people, family, that can see it and feel it, in all, and our whole family. So
Mhm.
this has been so fun, and this has just been so joyous, and it's just been such a blessing to spend time with you all. It's just really, and thank you for stopping along the road so that we could talk to Sandy.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes,
Oh, my
that was
pleasure.
so nice. And this has just been such a joy, and it's such a wonderfully warm feeling to spend time with the people in our world. And any last things, Tricia, that you want to mention?
I just didn't know if Sandy had any wildlife around the car or anything that they wanted to show the camera. I heard you had an incident
No,
earlier.
not right now.
You could show them the tongue
No, but it
impressions
was
of the
pretty
salt.
impressive watching the buffalo lick our truck.
Those
You-
those things
They were
are
licking the
big.
cameras on our truck. And I have a selfie with one of the buffaloes because I rolled my window down and he was right outside my window licking the truck. So I peeked out there and I took a picture real quick with them.
They're getting the salt off the truck because I guess they like salt.
It was crazy.
That
But
is crazy. I want to show this one last
There you go.
beautiful picture of the two of you.
we were in
What
the
a what a
Badlands.
Oh,
Ah,
that's a crazy background. Oh my gosh, but you two look so cute and are just having such a good time. I hope that the two of you just have a wonderful, wonderful trip. We all do, after all the ordeals that you've been through, and and it's tough having your own business, Dave, to have to make the highs and the lows with that and all the things. I mean, so we hope you just really enjoy your time, your
yeah.
traveling, the two of you.
Helen, when I was
Thank you.
when Sandy and I were talking, she the other day she said, "Yeah, we're right. We're at Mount Rushmore right now." And
Wow.
I said, "Is Trump up there yet?"
I know.
And Dave said he
Yeah.
would get a chisel, by
I'd
the way.
start it right now.
I think he
Yes,
gets
yeah.
his own
Go get a
mountain at this
chisel.
point. Let's
Yeah.
give Trump his own mountain.
Well,
Yeah.
we know that Dave will, has a thing with flags. He's a little mischievous with the taking flags
Oh
down
yeah,
the
yes.
flagpole, right? Yeah. So
They're still looking for me.
yeah, Sandy said you'd have no problem taking a chisel out. So
No problem.
Yeah. I think
Just
we'd all
ask him
chisel
and
on
he'll
that.
start it. I'm sure a lot of
So,
people
and
would help him. So.
Oh, yeah.
whoa, yes, we'd be lined up for sure. And Diane, thank you so much yourself for being here, and then for just being such an important part of all of these podcasters shows and their lives now too. Because you really are. So thank you for
Thank
all
you.
you do as well. And and thanks to everybody here. The MC Writer gave a couple more the subscriptions, and I'm just really kind of blown away. That's just been such a joyous and wonderful gift, and all of you are gifts as far as I'm concerned too. And I appreciate you being here on Labor of Love. I would hope you tell your friends about the View of Truth, where we just want to just do some really good stories and talk about topics, but truthful topics, so that you're not pulling your hair out after you're watching it, like The View on ABC, 1 o'clock on Fridays. Come join us, and we always have cool guests and cool topics. But it's just it's a wonderful to be a part of this. And don't forget, I want to be the Thread Fest, the one that goes live too. So
Yeah, I think if
big
MagaDi
wish.
and I both hit Patrick up, I think he'd do it, right?
I think so. Yeah,
I
I
would
think
love it.
we can work something out.
Well, I bought all the tulip bloom products. We'll give them a tulip bloom
Me
spot.
too.
Me too.
Well, that's the end of our trip. Is the end of our trip is the Thread Fest, and we can't wait to see all of you out there. And by that time, I'll be back. I've kind of disappeared in the last couple of weeks, just really focusing on business and trying to fill the gas tank a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think by the time we're at Thread Fest, we'll be out in full force and see all of you guys a lot more. So
Yeah, and that's why, just like our friends, our Aussie friends, I want to have that connection. I want to do a live connection so that they can feel a part of it too. So we'll definitely, hopefully, we can work on that. But just love you all so much. Thank you for a wonderful Saturday night. This was just so awesome
Thank
to spend
you.
time with friends who are like family. So thank you all for being here. We love you. We love you all in the chat family too. Have a wonderful night.
Sandy, you're
Love you
next.
love you
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.